What if thousands of people were allegedly getting closer to a U.S. green card through marriages that prosecutors say were never meant to be real? That is the allegation at the center of a major U.S. immigration fraud prosecution. Federal authorities have charged 11 people over what officials describe as one of the largest marriage fraud cases in American history. Investigators say the alleged operation arranged more than 1,000 sham marriages, primarily involving Chinese nationals seeking U.S. lawful permanent residence and American citizens who allegedly agreed to participate for money. And here's where the story gets even more shocking. Prosecutors say some American participants were allegedly paid tens of thousands of dollars, while customers could be charged up to $100,000 for a green card. So how did this alleged operation work? Who was allegedly involved? And why is Attorney General Todd Blanche calling this a major threat to the integrity of America's immigration system?
Today we are announcing the arrests and unsealing of an indictment out of the Southern District of New York, charging 11 individuals for allegedly overseeing an extensive, decade-long marriage fraud scheme involving more than 1,000 sham marriages between Chinese nationals and United States citizens, and then the submission of fraudulent applications for green cards. This is one of the largest marriage fraud prosecutions in United States history. This scheme was not a quick fly-by-night operation, but rather a years-long, multi-million-dollar cottage industry to criminally assist people who would not, or legally could not, otherwise become citizens of the United States. The men and women who facilitated this scheme were all naturalized citizens originally from China and one green card holder. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Justice is working alongside our partners at DHS to secure the border and protect American communities, something that was ignored during the last administration. Not only are we protecting our physical borders from unlawful crossings, but we are also preventing immigration fraud schemes that are just another way to skirt the immigration laws of the United States. That this scheme allegedly worked is the facilitators used social media and other forms of advertising to market fraudulent immigration services to foreign nationals, primarily from China, and Chinese nationals would pay these facilitators as much as $100,000 for assistance in obtaining a marriage, which then allowed them to apply for a green card. The facilitators also paid willing U.S. citizens as much as $30,000 to engage in the sham marriage with the foreign national. Now, often after these phony ceremonies, defendants would stage images of families at restaurants to create the appearance of a legitimate wedding, and some of the defendants also facilitated sham marriages overseas in China. After the marriages took place, the actual ceremony, the then married couples would visit a local office affiliated with the scheme, sign forms for submission to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, learn about the USCIS interview process to apply for a green card, and then execute prenuptial agreements, which, not surprisingly given the allegation these were sham marriages, waived their rights to share in the other's estate upon death, child support, and other claims in marital property. One prenuptial agreement even provided that, and I'm quoting from the indictment, except in the name of husband and wife, both parties live independently and must not interfere with each other, end quote. The facilitators of the scheme would then prepare and submit fraudulent green card applications and work with the couples through the immigration process, submitting photographs, opening joint bank accounts, mobile phone accounts, all to obtain green cards to allow them to stay in this country. But that's illegal. These charges and the indictments now unsealed, they show how far people will go to cheat our immigration system. Gaining American citizenship and legal status to reside in this great nation is a sacred privilege, and we will ensure it is always done in accordance with the law protecting our communities and national security. These schemes have real costs. They rob our country of its ability to know who should be and should not be allowed in America.
According to federal prosecutors, this was not a single fake wedding or a small-scale operation. Authorities allege it was a years-long business that helped arrange more than 1,000 fraudulent marriages. The alleged purpose was to help foreign nationals obtain lawful permanent resident status, commonly known as a green card, through marriages that prosecutors say were not genuine. The operation was reportedly centered in New York, but extended across multiple U.S. states and even internationally. AP reports that the alleged operation lasted about a decade and generated tens of millions of dollars. Now, let's talk about the money. Prosecutors say customers could allegedly pay as much as $100,000 per green card. Meanwhile, American citizens recruited to participate in the sham marriages could allegedly receive as much as $30,000. That means the alleged operation wasn't simply about two people pretending to be married. Investigators say it involved an organized network of recruiters and people helping with the immigration process. AP reports the alleged organizers charged up to $100,000 per green card and paid participating U.S. citizens as much as $30,000. According to prosecutors, the alleged scheme went beyond simply obtaining a marriage certificate. Authorities say participants staged weddings and created photographs designed to make the relationships appear legitimate. In other words, investigators allege that evidence of a genuine relationship was manufactured for immigration purposes. Prosecutors also say people within the alleged network helped prepare and submit immigration paperwork. That's important because immigration authorities look at whether a marriage is genuine when someone seeks immigration benefits through a spouse. AP reports that participants allegedly staged weddings and even created family-style photographs at restaurants to make the marriages appear legitimate. Federal authorities have now charged 11 defendants in the case. The allegations involve people accused of helping organize or facilitate the marriages. The reported indictment includes individuals connected to different parts of the alleged operation. Prosecutors say the operation involved recruiters, assistants, and people who helped with immigration applications, among others. The defendants were charged in a New York federal indictment, according to AP's reporting. Prosecutors will have to prove the charges in court. And as this case develops, we could learn much more about how the alleged network operated, how many people were involved, and exactly how the fake marriages were organized. And this raises a much bigger question. How much money is flowing through fraudulent immigration schemes in America that authorities haven't discovered yet? If prosecutors are correct that more than 1,000 sham marriages were arranged through this alleged operation, then investigators may be looking at only one part of a much larger problem. And that's why this case is likely to receive serious attention. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the U.S. government should increase investigations into marriage-based immigration fraud? And what punishment should people face if they knowingly sell or purchase a fake marriage for immigration benefits? Tell me your opinion in the comments. But remember, we're discussing allegations, so let's keep the conversation respectful. The investigation and court proceedings will determine what ultimately happens to the defendants. If you want more breaking news, immigration stories, and African-focused international news explained clearly, subscribe now. Turn on your notification bell, because this story could develop further. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.